Hey, this is Jinzuro here, and welcome back to Call of Cthulhu. Now, I accidentally did skip over the beginning cutscene for Chapter 7. I forgot, in my loss of recording for a week, that I had to wait until the game saved going into the next chapter. Because, the what do we call it? The way it automatically saves is, not really best suited recording wise. But I'm gonna start this off here, and hopefully, sometimes I did notice that it still replays the cutscene, so maybe they'll do that for me this time around. Though nothing much happened. All he did was open the door, so I guess it's not much of a big miss. Chapter 7: The Nameless Bookstore. The Shambler turned out to be much more than an artwork painted by Sarah Hawkins, as a huge creature came out of the painting to attack Pierce. After a hard fight, the detective managed to send it back into the painting. He later discovered that the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Sanders by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the Nameless Bookstore. Pierce decides to pay the library a visit. Now, one thing I did notice when I did tear up the painting for the Shambler is that when he came back to reality, the painting was perfectly fine. So it seems like everything that is happening is really inside his mind, but there's like another element to it where I suppose you can think of it like things in the mind becoming real. You know how your mind can basically make something so real for you that it actually happens, at least in terms of your own natural body. So hopefully, I wonder if that's what's going on here, and well, I can think about it all I want, but we're not going to find out until we jump back into it. So let's go ahead and get into this library full of books I shouldn't be reading.
Where is the bookseller?
Okay, the first time I saw that cutscene, I did not notice the crack in the window there. That's a pretty important detail. So I get spot hidden, and I guess I will up my strength again. There we go. So kind of want to keep myself like just even all around. Let's go ahead and save that. Oh joy, meet the Shambler. It is in Francis Sanders' private gallery that Pierce discovers the identity of the Shambler, a huge artwork painted by Sarah Hawkins. When Pierce approached it, a creature burst forth from the painting and immediately chased after him. This beast from another dimension has such a hold on the mind of a person who finds himself in its presence that a simple glance in its direction is enough for Pierce to lose some sanity. Pierce finally managed to send the Shambler... Oh wait, no, go back. Pierce finally managed to send the Shambler back into the painting using a dagger engraved with a strange symbol, but this encounter has left its mark on the psyche of the investigator. Still under the influence of the creature, he almost stabbed his own hand. Oh wow, so I'm wondering if it kind of works both ways, that though finding out more about the occult and the creatures surrounded by it drives me insane, the fact that I'm also becoming more knowledgeable about what I can use against it also helps me. So it's like it's definitely a double-edged sword. A sword I should never have wielded. That thing is... Whew. Sanders' residence. Sanders' house, all in shades of red and in gold, is impressive, but nothing matches the private gallery of Francis Sanders. The place is huge and entirely dedicated to his passion for troubling and macabre works. Defaced figures of virgins, sacrificial daggers, statues of monsters, and the painting that led him to his demise takes center stage. The Shambler, a painting by Sarah Hawkins, a close friend of the couple. What happened in this room I will never be able to forget. I'm not gonna forget either. Dagger of the Ancients. This exceptional dagger of Ottoman origin probably dates from the... Wait a minute. It's sticking in my head. I don't often read Roman numerals. Wait, would that be the 1500th century? I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't know. It bears the elder sign on its hilt. It apparently belonged to Pargali Ibrahim Pasha, Grand Vizier at the court of Suleiman the Magnificent. Legend tells that Pargali used the symbol on the dagger to protect the court from a creature that haunted the mirrors of the palace. What is certain is that Suleiman had his vizier executed. Did he fear him after his demonstration of power? Extract from the Art and Mysticism, Francis Sanders, Forgotten Objects. I guess I should... You know, I really don't... The only time I remember doing Roman numerals was in school, and aside from movies, I never ever see Roman numerals used. Let's see. Painting of the Shambler. The painting was exposed in Francis Sanders' gallery, but I think that the creature no longer requires it for movement. It went to hunt down Sanders in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. I do not know where it comes from, but one thing is sure, it's starving. Did I succeed in sending it back to its world? I am not sure. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce, private detective. Yeah, that is a good question. How did it... In this one, it appeared from the painting. So I'm wondering if maybe the reason that it came back was because we were on the conversation of the Shambler, and being that Francis had a run-in with it before, me having him recall that memory is what brought it forth in that moment. I'm thinking that was essentially what happened there. Okay, I think that's everything here, so we can continue investigating.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to the voice in his head because it holds the truth. Okay, so is there something behind these volumes I'm collecting for that? More than likely it is, but right now I really don't know what it could be.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
Oh, wait a minute. Does this book help me enhance... I'm wondering if some books help me enhance some of my other stats as well, aside from the CP. Because I know the other two stats, you know, for the occult and medicine, I need to find the books to increase those. But I'm wondering for the other ones in purple, if also finding books related to it also helps increase it. Because that would be pretty nice. So I'm going to find out after I read this right here. This practical work written by Sigmund Freud for a psychologist describes the techniques of analytical interpretation of dreams. The analysis must follow several rules, especially that of free association, a principle announced by Freud at the end of the 19th century. It treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares. Anything on the back? I haven't found anything that had something in the back. Oh, that counts for medicine progression? Well, I guess so, the mind. So I'm guessing that counts for my knowledge here. Oh no, that was for the pastor's wife. Okay, let's see if there's... Oh, you know what? I forgot about that symbol that's supposed to appear in the screen when something's hidden away. I need to remember that. Of course, I just did. Darkwater History, Harry Campbell, Volume 2. A Puritan colony led by Reverend John Wickwood settled in the island during the 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. I mean, should have known something was up at that point. I would have got out of Dodge. Okay. Something definitely happened right here. Anything on this desk? No.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are at the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the text of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the Nameless Bookstore in Darkwater, could be as much a fake as irrefutable proof of the Blavatsky sincerity. Great. Increase my... No. Let's put that away. I'm gonna need that right now. Oh, here we go. Breviary of Medicine. Even a few years back, it was possible for a single practitioner to know all the medical knowledge of his time. This book, which concludes the series, shows that this is now virtually impossible. About 10 renowned doctors took part in putting together this collection. Oh, good. I don't know. I haven't reached a point where I needed to, wait a minute. Does this mean me learning more about medicine also helps my own mind? Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection. Oh, nice. This bookstore is a treasure trove. As precise and illustrated with as much detail as the first volume, this book focuses on healing surgeries specific to malformations and motor disorders. Oh yeah. Let's crank that up. Oh. Would you read the book? I shouldn't. I shouldn't read this book. I'm going to regret reading this book. I know it.
What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Why am I doing this to myself? The collection catalogs and classifies creatures that I had never heard of, divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as a reference work on the bestiary of the myth, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. Its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. They all look... Yeah, both those... Yeah, those were both the Shambler. Oh man, why couldn't my medicine be on par with my occult knowledge? Oh boy. Improving the skill increases your chance of determining the use and origin of a occult artifact. Well, I guess... man, I really don't. It's a double-edged sword. I don't think I would have saw that if I didn't have the lamp out, so... Yeah, I don't see anything else popping up from me, keeping this lamp out. I kind of want to check just to be certain. Okay, we can go ahead and put that away. Darkwater history. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because up till then, the region was a favorite refuge for cetaceans. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to the port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew searched that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. Alright, so they're talking about the Great Catch. Hello. Some more oil for the lamp. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything. Oh, no, that was oil for the lamp. Doesn't look like there's anything else in that room, so we can progress forward.
What happened here?
Before I do this reconstruction, I see a box. Is those whispers I'm hearing? I'm hearing whispers. I don't like it. Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection. The least that can be said about this book is that the title is well conceived. The illustrations of human anatomy and dissection methods presented are illustrated in great detail. You have to have a strong heart or the detachment proper to doctors to consult its pages. Okay, good. Definitely need that. Alright, I guess we can reconstruct this room now. Wait, whoa. There's something definitely behind this right here. Let's find out what it is.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
Okay, the blood splatters there. What's this?
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably.
Okay. Well, looks like he's leaving. Why is he not wearing any shoes? Okay, can I not go in here? Yeah, so I have to follow everything in order. Hello?
No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then?
Okay, so what hurt you? Think there's anything about that book? Hello?
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals?
Oh, these are rats and roaches. Okay.
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Maybe that symbol you saw right here. Oh, no. No.
What the? Charles Hawkins?
Wait, it was... Why am I seeing him, though?
Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
Apparently it was a business.
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
There's something else in here that I need to check out. I don't believe so. So does me understanding more about the occult owes blurgery. Okay, let's consult the diary here. Wait, did my... I don't think anything... Why is there an exclamation point for my sanity here? Oh, that might have been an accident. The Nameless Bookstore. I've never seen such a collection of books on magic and occultism. Algernon Drake, the owner, prides himself on being a luminary in the study of esoteric phenomena. The library was ransacked during an attempted burglary. It holds numerous rare or forbidden works. Its back room houses a safe protected by an ancient symbol. Okay. Going back to knowledge, all these other books that I discovered, which I'm going to make great use of. Open safe. Oh, great. How am I supposed to learn the code for... Oh, wait. There we go.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
A page seems to be hidden here. It is possible to read. If somebody finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still in this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates accuracy as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combined in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered if, and its celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its content into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents and that you will act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer from your actions. Okay, so each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Because each cylinder is numbered. Okay, so we gotta figure out what... Hello? So nothing for me in there.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Why is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from the last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips off to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. Oh, I need that. I definitely need that. Okay, so we can close all these drawers here. So I gotta go find these cylinders so I can get the code. Oh, you just gonna ransack my information now?
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
As a Thought and Other Horrors, a collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural. Okay.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Key of Solomon, a book of spells supposedly written by the legendary King Solomon. It contains the various rituals of invocation and rituals of curse. Reedition by Claudia D. Waits based on L.W. D. Lawrence's original. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology. Luxurious, that's the same as always.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Okay, opera in 8 acts by Benvenuto Citi Brodighera, an infamous lyrical work published in Italy in 1768. It is said that the opera was performed only once, resulting in an audience riot that left several dead and missing. Okay.
Arkham editions? Never heard of him.
A book of esoteric philosophy and a key text in Madame Blavatsky's Theosophical Movement, written by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. Okay. What about you?
How many volumes are there in this collection?
A collection of long-term astrological predictions written in verse, written by Nostradamus, translated by E. Leone and Theophilus Widebridge.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
An ancient Frisian manuscript translated by William R. Sandbach. The text claims that in the distant past, Europe and other continents were controlled by the mothers of this people, and moreover that our alphabet is derived from the Frisian language.
Arkham Editions? Never heard of him.
I think this should not be. A collection of essays on American folklore and urban legends, written by Albert Wilmarth, professor and Miskatonic University. Okay, and you?
How many volumes are there in this collection?
He keeps mentioning about the number of volumes, so maybe that's also a clue. Written by Hermes Trismegistus, translated and edited by Nathaniel M. Coppelius. This collection of texts on different beliefs was written by a legendary philosopher. It includes a translation of the Emerald Tablet, a popular text among the 16th century alchemists. And you?
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
No, I did read that one. Okay, so was that all the books? I need to check around just to be... Wait.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Cylinders 3 and 2. Okay, so I found 2 of them. Cylinders 2 and 3. Alright, looked at that book. I have a feeling the last cylinder is probably going to be in the same room as that chessboard. Doesn't look like anything else is up here. Uh-huh.
Things are not looking good.
Well, I should think not.
A kind of chalice.
This goblet seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. Do the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motive? I mean, what purpose would this chalice have? Okay, there's that, but... Is there another cylinder, though? I would have thought maybe there would have been another cylinder somewhere. I mean, he had majority of the cylinders behind that wall. So 2 cylinders. 7 of these books here. 8 of these books here. Guess I need more of a clue as to what else I need to figure out this safe. Let's go ahead and listen to these. So I am missing the first cylinder. Where is the first cylinder? Could the first cylinder be in this room? Wasn't in the drawers. So I wonder if maybe also needed a lamp to see it perchance. 2 of them behind this. I found that book in there. Where would the first cylinder be? It's also possible I may need to listen to the first 2 cylinders in order to uncover more. So I'm going to check around a little bit longer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and listen to these other 2. Oh wait, I guess I do have the first one.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Okay, it's the first cylinder. So I'm wondering if each of these cylinders might represent what the number may be. So I'm going to listen to the first one again.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Okay, so the red stones might be the first number.
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Okay, the red stones in the goblet, the white chessboard pieces. What's the third
Dear
one?
friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Okay, so maybe 9. 9 might be the last number.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5.
The Queen has little protection.
549. We're gonna try 549. No. 5. Let's move over. 4. So it's not 549. I'm feeling it's the last one that's not right. How many volumes are over here? There's only 8. I mentioned a 9th, but there are only 8. That's not it. Pretty sure there are only 4 chess pieces, and there are only 5 red stones in that goblet. So it must have something to do with that last clue. And it's something that I need to check out, so I'm gonna re-listen to that 3rd cylinder.
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Okay. So volume 9 seemed very particular, so there's something about volume 9.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
Okay, this is the other one. Collection of also known as a nightmare. This collection of poems was essentially. This volume is part of the Arkham anthology. Okay, so does that mean there's only a certain amount of Arkham books over here? Could that be it? So this would be one.
What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
All for Arkham.
What did Drake say about this collection?
But there's something particular about this one. What am I missing? What am I missing? Did I miscount over here?
The Queen has little protection.
So is it more not the... Am I not supposed to include the Queen? Is that it?
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers.
Ah, I think it's
see our
only...
number dwindling,
I think it's only
and my
talking
will
about the
strengthen
ones
my apprehension.
that are left. So the last number probably is 9, and I need to dial back that central one to 3. So, no, go back in there. Let's bring that back to 9. Take this to 3. Yeah! Close it. Close it. Unless this is giving me unlimited power, I don't want it. Oh no. Don't send me back here. I just left this place. Don't do this to me. Oh man. In the Nameless Bookstore, Pierce traced the trail of the attempted burglary. He discovered that Charles Hawkins was behind the attempt. Pierce opened the bookseller's safe to find that the latter and Sarah Hawkins had hidden there. A book covered in human skin lied inside, irresistibly attracted the detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected into another body. Oh, so does that mean I'm going through someone else's memories or someone else who's currently there? I'm saying his mind was projected into another body. It would be nice if they had actually dissected these separately by chapter, so you can actually choose them instead of it jumping directly into the next chapter. But then again, as I said before, that's only from the standpoint of recording that would have worked out. So I gotta see what they're gonna throw me into here.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Ah, see, this is the issue I'm having here. Because I don't know if I can answer all of these or just one. So I'm just going to go with the one that I feel would be best starting off. She is a doctor.
Very well. I'll examine him.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. And when we get back, we're going to examine this guy and see what's going on with him. Till then.